So let me keep going down here.
It's fascinating.
Fascinating.
That happened deliberately.
He can't figure out why that happened. I just told you why. And if you think I'm making that up, you can do a simple Google search, a simple YouTube search. America was over 50% of all global manufacturing. And because of the Bretton Woods Agreement, we were now the reserve currency. We had replaced the British Empire. Yeah, of course. And now add one more piece. We have all this manufacturing to rebuild the entire world, which was bombed out. We didn't have enough bodies.
The reason they're charging tuition is really simple.
Okay, listen to this one. There's a reason. Why are they charging tuition? Why do you think they're charging tuitions? What's the reason behind that? Could it be to make money? No. What's wrong with you? Making money. It's not why. I'll tell you why. He's going to tell you right now why he did it. Go ahead, tell me.
It does two things, really. One,
two things.
It takes you out of the protest force.
See that? It takes you out of the protest force. It's not for money. Protest force. Duh.
If you're paying tuition, you have to get a job. If you have a job, you have less time, you have less energy, you have less motivation to go.
See that? What they care about, what they, whoever they is, they, the bad guys, they, the evil people, what they, maybe let's be, maybe I don't know, whatever. Those people, they said, hey, you got to charge tuition. The college said, do you understand how stupid this is? Do you get how brain dead? I'm sorry, that's not true. Do you get how you have to look at your students as brain dead for them to accept that as true? Do you get why this guy has to stay in colleges? If he were to be outside of a college, he would be eaten alive with that stupid shit. If I'm in his boardroom and they bring this guy and he goes, we got to start, charging stuff. Okay, great. Let me ask why. Well, to keep people out of the what? Why is this guy here? Will someone please throw him out before I throw him out of the window? What is wrong with this guy? But he's getting paid. He's teaching our children this stupidity.
Out and organize and protest. And
because now, luckily, because now we charge all this tuition, there's no more protest. Oh, wait. Well, like a place like Columbia has so much, there's surely no protest. Oh, wait. Well, there's other colleges, I'm sure there's no oh, wait. Yeah, makes no sense. And he actually said that.
Right? When we began ramping up the public school tuitions was in the early 70s, in the aftermath of the 60s.
How? What could have changed in the early 70s? Trying to figure out what happened in the early... Oh, wait, was it the 1965 Higher Education Act, which then allowed the government to start backing loans? Oh, it could be that, which was put out there and then all of a sudden made it to where the government now was vested in making money off of students in college by a percentage. So therefore, when you have a higher tuition with a percentage, you make more money. So it made it the government can make more cash and banks can make more cash if you raise tuition. So it could be that, or maybe because they don't want you to protest. This guy doesn't mention that at that point, which was the 70s is when the government started backing all the loans. He doesn't bring that up at all. That wasn't it. It was to stop you from protesting because they hate it. This is a college professor, a popular one.
This was deliberate. It was on purpose. The goal was to get you so that you wouldn't do another 60s.
See, because they hated the 60s. They.
Donald Reagan, who was in the Ronald Reagan administration.
Which was 1980 and on. So that's not 73, but okay.
At a cabinet position in 1983, invited top business people, the CEOs, to a conference where he actually encouraged them to take the businesses out of the United States to move manufacturing overseas.
Well, why would he do that? Maybe because he thinks it's cheaper? He wants to keep manufacturing in American companies? I don't know. Why would he do that? Tell me, oh wise one. I'm sure this will make complete utter sense. I'm sure this will make total sense.
And the idea is that if you took enough manufacturing out of the United States, and you got rid of those jobs, you could then come in and break the unions.
Of course. Makes total sense. I will destroy the American economy so I can break the unions. That's the reason? That's the reason. You were wondering. You were saying to yourself, I bet these businesses moved overseas so they could save money. No. Why are you guys so dumb? Why'd you think that? No. It's because they hate unions. That's the reason. And they went, ha, this'll teach them. We'll leave. The unions will break. Then we'll come back and there'll be no more unions. Wait a minute. Did they come back? No. The union's gone? No. That didn't work that well. Could you imagine him on a debate stage? Oh, my God.
Once the jobs were gone, the unions would be gone.
Well, he's not wrong. I mean, that is true. If the jobs were gone, the unions would be gone. That is an accurate statement. I guess in that regard, you know what? He's made some sense today. He doesn't mention anything that happened in 1971, 72, 73. So let me quickly give you a couple things, because these are things that he just doesn't want to tell you about. See, he's saying that it's all because government bad. And I'm sorry, they are bad and they want to do that. That's why. But let me show a little bit of something real fast, if you don't mind. This is what's called the Nixon shock. Nixon, 1971, what does he do? He freezes prices. What could go wrong? Freezes wages. What could go wrong? So the dollar was no longer worth $1 anymore. Yeah, weird how when you make the dollar not worth anything, all of a sudden the dollar's not worth anything. But up here it says silver certificate, $1 silver. This is from 1957. Down here it says Federal Reserve note, $1. This is from the 70s. Yeah. And as the guy's joking, he goes, here, backed up by dollar. And this guy says, trust me. I'll want dollars now, or trust me. Who did that? Nixon, 1971. Does he mention that? No. Clearly not important. Clearly not important. Doesn't matter. Not important. Vietnam War. So much debt from the Vietnam War. Doesn't mention that at all. Doesn't mention that at all. Price freezes. Wage freezes. Doesn't mention that at all. Ended the dollar. It's the 91%, you knuckleheads. World War II, where 50% of all of manufacturing on the planet, and we have a labor shortage. Yeah, so of course you got high-paying jobs. You have a labor shortage. Not just that, you have a bunch of combat veterans, literally millions of them, back in the country. You don't give them jobs? You guys heard of Athens, Georgia? Some of you know what I'm talking about. You take those men who came back from World War II, combat veterans, and say, I'm not giving you nothing, they're going to take something. It's about the 91%. That's what made things good. Everything else, that's for you idiots. Now, he doesn't mention any of this. And this guy, believe it or not, it talks about history, in theory at least. So, yeah.